Man, look at this. Kids breaking stuff all the time. This stop broke and then poked a hole through the wall. Door. It's a hollow core door, which comes standard at home centers. This one happens to be 18 inch by 80 inch. 80 is standard. The width can vary, but you'll find those different widths at the home store. I'm going to show you how I changed this out. I've already changed another one, so this is the second one. This can be fun. First thing I'm going to do is take the doorknob off. 2 screws here, and then a couple of screws in the door itself, at least in this doorknob. You just want to loosen them, don't take them all the way out. There you go, and this piece will slide out. Then I'm going to take these pins out of the hinges and just kind of take the door off and take it with me to the shop. You just slide right out. If you got one that's being difficult or you can't quite get it out, no big deal. Just take a hammer and a flathead screwdriver. And just kind of keep adding until you can pop it out, and then just, there you go. Once you got all the pins out, you just basically just take the door and take it with you. And a little bit about the doors. This is the door that I just took off, and you'll notice the hole that's been bored for the doorknob. Now, the new one does not have that hole, so I'll have to cut it myself. Some of the doors at the home center came with that hole already bored through, but for whatever reason, this size did not. Another thing, and I took it off just so you can see, the hinge it's been mortised out for the hinge to fit, so you'll have to figure out how to do that. The way I did it was I made a jig and I cut them out with my router. I'll show you how I did it in a minute, how I used the router to do that. And so that's a couple of things you got to think about before you consider doing a door. No, because the new doors do not come with the mortises for the hinges. The new doors on the bottom, the old doors on top. And I've got them lined up, flush on the front, and flush on what the bottom would be. So I'm going to use the old door as a template for the new door to cut the hole out for the doorknob. So I've got a few clamps on it as well to make sure it doesn't move around on me. And the way I'm going to cut through this door is I bought a hole saw that matches. This is, I think, 2 1/8 inch. And just a little bit about hole saws if you don't know. Whenever you first buy a hole saw, you want to go ahead and get the one that comes with the arbor and the bit. So after you buy that the first time, then all you need to buy are just these different size pieces. So, and you can take it out. I've already loosened it a little bit, so just take it out. And you can take the bit out as well. There's a set screw there. And then you just put it in the new one. And there you go. I'm going to take a wrench and tighten down on it a little bit, but then I'll be ready to go. And I'm not going to drill all the way through because I don't want it to blow out on the backside. So once I've gone far enough to where the drill bit has come through the bottom, I'll stop. Then I'll turn the door over and finish the hole from the opposite side. Just keep going. It's going to take a while. Alright, you can see about how far I've made it down so far. I had to change the battery out on my drill, but you can see that it's coming through on the other side. So I'm going to stop here, flip the door over, and continue from the other side. Go ahead and get that out. And then resume. Put the drill bit right in the hole, and continue. I can feel it wanting to break through now. There you go. So that's it. Now I'm going to take a triangle and just follow the edges of this, where this piece goes, all the way down to the new door, just so I know where that's going to be located. I know that hole is centered, so I'm going to find the center right here. All I got to do to do that, I'm going to draw a line from here to here, and then from here to here. So I know that's center, and it doesn't look like this hole is exactly centered up and down. It looks like it's a tad above center, so I think I'm going to actually drill a hole right above that center line right there. So I've got a spade bit here, and it looks like this hole is exactly 15/16 of an inch. The 1 inch paddle bit was 2, or spade bit, either paddle bit or spade bit, whatever you want to call it. 1 inch was too big, so one step down is 15/16 in the set that I have, so it looks to be about the size of the hole. Now I'm not going to go exactly center, I'm just going to go right above center and just try to drill straight in. There we go. All right, now I've got this piece. I'm going to put it in there. Just make sure it's kind of centered in that hole, lined up with the edges, and I'm going to draw around it. And then it'll tell me where I need to mortise out for that piece. And that's not going to be an exact size. I'm just going to take a chisel to it, and it is what it is. And before I take the clamps off, I got one more thing to do, and that is to lay out for the mortises. So I'm going to mark on the new door exactly where the edges of the mortises will be. I'll do that with a combo square. I'm just going to line it up with the edge of the mortise and then draw a line. And the last thing I want to do, just to make sure that I hog out the right side, because I don't want to do it on the wrong side, because I've already got the doorknob handle bored through, so I'm going to put some X's on the side that I need to bore out. Here is the hinge location, and I've made this jig which will slide right onto there, and I will line it up with the lines that I drew, clamp it down, and then take a router and just route all that stuff out with a bearing guided bit. I'm not going to show you how I made the jig in this video. There's another video that I've already made on how to make this jig. I'll put a link to it in the description, or you'll see it somewhere on the screen. But I'll go ahead and show you how it works. All right, here's the old door mortise. So I'm using my combo square. I've got it set to the same depth as what the old one is set at. So I know I need to chisel down about that far. And this ain't gonna be very pretty. I'm just trying to get it done. But of course I'll do the best I can. I don't expect it to be perfect. Probably use the smaller chisel to try to get around those edges. Ain't gonna be pretty. Ain't gone. That's a word they say here in Georgia. Ain't gone. Ain't gonna be pretty. Alright, so I'll just hammer out the rest of this. I'm just going to keep on working like this, and I'll come back when I'm done. Alright, well I think I'm done. Let's see here, if I put that in there, sits down in there well enough. It's going to have to be good enough. And I did chip a little bit right here, but no big deal. Got some super glue. Put some super glue down and I'll take care of that. Alright, I flipped the door over. Now I'm ready to put the hinges on. I got this Vicks bit, and it's a self-centering bit. You can see it's got a drill bit inside of it. Spring loaded, but what I'm going to do with it is put the hinge on, and then I'll drill out, pre-drill some centered holes. Alright, now we've come to the moment of truth. We're going to find out if it fits. So, and I did have this broken stop, but you can get new ones at the home store, so these are the cheap ones. And these are easy to replace. You just, it's going to come with a little plastic bushing there. You see the old one on the old pin. Take the old one off and put the bushing with the plastic bushing facing up. And then you kind of put your door, I'm going to use my foot on the bottom of the door to kind of keep it up off the ground because there's no carpet, so it's a little bit off the ground. And I'm just going to work from the top down. Get a pin in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there we go. And one for the middle. Just kind of work it in. It goes in, there you go. And then the one on the bottom. And it looks like they're all matched up, so they all fit. So that's a good thing. So now, all we got to do is see if it closes. And I'm just going to tap this pin all the way down at the top. And you'll want to adjust that. Probably you just adjust this screw. That's about as far as it will go. Alright, so here we go. Hey, not too bad. There's a little bit of rub, but I think that's going to be just fine. The last door I did, it would not close, so I had to take the door off and use a hand plane, a jack plane out in the shop. I had to take about 8 passes on this side to get it to close, and then I had to, of course, chisel down a little bit more on the latch part. So, but this one's going to fit perfectly. So now let's go ahead and get the whatchamajig, call it, the doorknob in place. All right, I'm going to start with this piece. Just make sure you put it in the right way. And I'm going to use the Vicks bit again to get some centered holes. And it is a little bit deeper than it should be, so, but still plenty of room. And then it just kind of locks on. You got to put it on and twist it. You spin this part. Come on, which way? Okay. All right, so I turned it and locked it on those screws. Now I just got to tighten the screws. There. See if it closes. Nice. Task complete. This may seem a little intimidating to you if you've never done it before. Believe me, I was intimidated as well. Thinking about doing these doors, about boring the hole for the doorknob, and then doing the mortises for the hinges. But it worked out. If I could do it, I'm pretty sure anybody can do it. Now, I also have another channel where I post a lot of woodworking videos. And I've got another video, as I kind of pointed to before, where I put another door up. That door already had the whole board for the doorknob, but I do show how I made the jig to do the mortises. So if you'd like to see how I did the jig, again, there's a link in the video description of this video. And also, if you'd like to subscribe to my other channel, my woodworking channel, feel free. I post a lot of woodworking stuff over there. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you next time.